iFILM, London. iFILM, London.
Right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining us here today. We're here with Kevin Mitchell, who's involved in a 10-round international lightweight contest tomorrow at York Hall, 10th of February, against Spanish-based FELIX LORA from Barcelona. Kevin's first fight for quite a few months now. Was it about 6 or 7 months?
6 or 7 months, yeah.
As you all know, he had a fantastic win in his last fight against John Murray, where he looked absolutely back to his best, but unfortunately a few things happened outside the ring that caused him to not be available to fight. But he's now available to fight, and tomorrow is probably, as he said himself, is the last time you're ever going to see him at York Hall boxing. At least we hope it is, from my point of view, unless this man here on my left causes an upset. But Kevin, as I say, it's a big fight for him there. He's got to come through this, he's got to look good. I've noticed in the press the other day he's been quoted as saying he wants to fight Ricky Burns next. Well, Ricky Burns has got a tough fight on the 10th of March in Glasgow against Paulus Moses, former world champion, which is a real tough fight. But Kevin can have the winner of that fight. It's not hard to make that fight, but he's got to come through tomorrow. He's got to look good doing it and make sure that Felix does not upset his plans, because obviously he's not coming here to make up the numbers. I'm quite sure of that. You know, Kevin's been with me for a long, long time now, from the start of his career. And from day one, I always expected and thought big things of him. I thought he's got an excellent talent. And if it's nurtured properly and he's with the right people training him, which he is now with Mark and Jimmy, to my right. Not Jimmy's not here, but Mark is. If they get him right and get his head right, I honestly believe that he could become a world champion. But there's been a few stutters and starts, but now, you know, I think he's really at the sort of last chance saloon as far as opportunity is concerned. He can't afford to screw up now. He has the talent to be up there with the best of them and become a world champion. And he's really now fighting not only tomorrow night, not just fighting for the fans, he's fighting for his future, for his 2 kids, as he said himself in the last few days. This is the big opportunity to get a big fight at West Ham in June. That's what we'd like to do, back to West Ham again, so he can go and put right what he should have done the first time round when he got the opportunity against Michael Costidis. He has the ability to do it, he has all the talent to do it, and now, as I say, the ball's well and truly in his court. He's the only one who can screw this up. Nobody else can. He's got a lot of good people supporting him. He's got Bill Ives from Raynham Still sitting at just up a few rows back there, who's been, I think, a bit of a mentor to him, and he's helped him out a lot, and he's a good friend of boxing. He couldn't have more better people around him. He's got great training. I'm not bad at managing, I'm not bad at promoting, so he's got everybody there. He's got the Ferraris, the Formula One Ferrari team around him, and he can be a Ferrari, but he's got to show everybody he can do it. The show will be broadcast, as you know, on Box Nation. That's on Sky Platform 546, the Virgin Platform, Sky Platform 456, and the Virgin Platform 546. So subscribe. You know, it's the place to be. See all the best fights in the future. On the undercard, we've got Frank Buglioni having his 3rd fight. He's been a very exciting addition to the professional ranks. He had a fabulous win last time out. He's fighting Ryan Clark from Navanby, so hopefully he'll go on to bigger and better things. He's a tremendous ticket seller, got a great following, and you'll see there'll be some great atmosphere with him tomorrow night. Bradley Skeets is also fighting in a welterweight contest against Laszlo Kumjati, who went the 8 rounds with Amir Khan. So he shows that he's got some stamina and some staying power, so hopefully he'll come through. And then we got the debut of Bradley Saunders, 2008 Olympian, making his debut against Jason Nesbitt, who actually took you the distance, Kevin Nesbitt, many years ago, didn't he? Jason Nesbitt, sorry, Jason. Yeah, did you? Oh, right. You were in trouble, you told me. Anyway, so that's where we are. We've got a good lineup there and some very good other youngsters. So good show, good small hall show, absolutely sold out. So don't show up. If you do, you won't get in. It's absolutely sold out, which is great news for boxing and great news for me. Anyway, all the guys are here. I'm sure you've got some questions to ask, so please feel free to do so.
Kev, does it feel good to be back?
3 rounds.
Yeah, it feels good to be back. Yeah, feel sharp. Been working hard with Jimmy and Mark in the gym now. Good sparring partners. You know, I'm just want to get in there now and get my job done. You know, as I say, talk, nothing else.
When you saw John Murray at Madison Square Garden, I mean, possibly not while you were watching him losing.
Yeah.
How did that feel for you? And where were you that night when you were watching John Murray?
Probably indoors on my tag. Watching it with my mum on the old computer, watching that, and I was saying, I remember I was sitting there watching my mum. It was actually my mum actually got it up on the computer. We didn't have it shown on TV. We got it up on the computer. I remember seeing John getting his, basically doing what I thought he'd do, go out and stand with him, and that's exactly how Ben and Lewis likes it. You know, standing his ground. Lots of people standing in front of him and fighting him. As in, I watched it and I thought after 11th rounds, after he got stopped, I thought sitting there, I could be the world champion now. I should be the world champion. It's one of them things happen, and I'll make sure I get right and get it right tomorrow night, and I'll get it right again on the fight night for the next world title.
Well, was that hard for you, certainly in the build-up, seeing John, who you knocked out, do that?
Yeah, it was hard. It's not nice for me to say, as in, yeah, it wasn't nice for me obviously, but as in, I'll tell you one thing, there's nothing no more harder than the 3 weeks like to sleep after getting beat by Concedis. It's like living a nightmare, so that was more hard. Do you know what I mean? As in, I got food out, if I can get food out, and watching that was like nothing. As in, now when you see me fight for the world title, you see me 100% to watch.
What sort of emotions were you going through watching John?
I was cheering him on basically. I'm good friends with him. I like him. I like John, and he's your average guy like me. You know what I mean? He's a straightforward person. He fights and he fights with his heart. And I was like, early on in the fight, he was doing alright, and I was hoping he would get the fight. He wins, and I'll get the shot against him after, wouldn't I? So hoping that he'd win. But to be fair, I've never fancied Rios wanting to fight me. Rios likes a guy stands in front of him that he can have a whack at. I think before he fought Murray, everyone was saying everyone was saying on like websites saying that it'd be too much for me. But when I watched that, I think it's clear to see that it'd be far too slow and far too easy to hit for me.
Is Burns the only sort of guy you're looking at?
Well, you know,
obviously
provided he beats Mosey. I mean, he has got a tough fight. There's no doubt about that. It's an easy fight to make. That's really what the bottom line is. And there's no better fights than all British world title fights. You know, you always get that bit of extra out of it. And you know, Scotland against England, if that happens, that's a good fight. I think Ricky's one of the most improved, if not the most improved fighter in the country. You look at some of the guys he's fought and the way he's handled them. You know, you've got to take your hat off to him. He's focused. He's very professional. He lives the life. I mean, in some ways, I hope Kevin looks to that and sees what you can get out of it. It's what you get out of what you put into it. And I think that Ricky's really done that, and he's turned his whole life around and his career around.
Your promoter Kevin has stuck by you through thick and thin.
Yeah.
Do you accept this is it? It's your last chance?
Yeah, it's my last chance now. I'm 27 now. If I can't beat Ricky Burns, I ain't going to be the man I wanted to be as a young kid growing up watching Frank's fighters on TV. As in dreams of being someone. Is if I can't beat Ricky Burns, I ain't going nowhere else. So what I'll be doing is I'll be definitely 100% beating Ricky Burns, and I'll be going on from there onwards and beat the likes of Brendan Mercer's, and who knows, step up to like welterweight.
But he needs, he's not stupid, Kevin. He needs to focus on what we've got tomorrow night, because we've seen all these best laid plans go out the window in the past. So he mustn't really, this is, I suppose in some ways we're having a conversation, but it should be a conversation for the day after, or immediately after the fight. But, I'm sure, let's say this fella on my left here has got...
I've watched the guy, Lora. He's obviously very, very strong, very tough. He's not one of the guys that's in there for 4 or 5 rounds and wants to get out of there. He's the sort of guy that wants to be there for the full 10 rounds. He's strong, he's tough, durable, and that's what I've trained for. So basically, whatever's ready for tomorrow night, I'm ready for anyway.
Mark, has training gone how you thought it would?
Yeah, training's gone fantastically well with Evans. His punctuality's been good, and we had Gary Corporate in. He's very strong, light welterweight. We used him for the first 2 weeks for sparring. He don't give anyone any room, and he never gave Kevin any room. So we used him for fitness and strength. And then after 2 weeks, the old man said, "Get rid of him." We want Kevin to get some shots off, so we got in Colin Lyons, the British welterweight champion, and we've got a kid in from Italy. What's his name now? Federico, but a strong light middleweight. So sparring went well. Yeah, and we changed it to evenings, which near fight time. So yeah, sparring's gone well.
Mark, the first thing you mentioned there was the punctuality's been good. Has that certainly been not the case in the past?
Well, no. I mean, going back to Casides before, Kevin never played. You know, I don't want to go back to Casides because we've moved on. He's a different animal since then, if you know what I'm saying. And he's a completely different fighter now, mentally and physically. So at that period, when we all look back at the Casides preparation, there was times when punctuality weren't good. So, but now he's a different animal, as I said, and he's performing.
As a trainer, though, since he did so well against Murray, so then essentially what went on after that must have been very frustrating.
It was very frustrating, you know, for everyone involved, and Frank and FWP itself, and it was frustrating for me and Dad as the trainers, and for Kevin himself, because that was old stuff which was already done. If you know what I'm saying, it was old stuff.
Before the fight, and then obviously they all come back on after the fight. So you see me fight the fight, and obviously all my problems come out after the fight. That's what basically what happened. But as in the problems were like good problems before the fight.
Well, so everything that came out legally had already happened before.
Before the fight, yeah, it's already before, yeah.
So after that, Harry prepared for the Murray fight, and Harry grew up mentally, and what we instilled with him with that eight weeks of training, he literally grew up overnight, if you know what I'm saying.
I had to, basically, I had to.
Unfortunately, that was the after effects of his silly behaviour beforehand, if you know what I'm saying. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But no, he's totally different. He's a different athlete, more professional and more mature.
Have you found it hard, Kevin?
No, I've enjoyed. As I said, since the John Murray fight, I've been brilliant. I've loved it. I've actually kept drinking up. Never in my life I ever wanted to actually ever fill my life after fights, as most fighters want to do, is go out and have a beer with the mates. This fight I'll be going out with mates, and I've got a party set up, but I won't be having a beer again. 5 weeks before Christmas, a few close friends around me just basically told me I need to stop giving drinking up and stop knuckle down with my training. I just thought about it for a few days and I said to my mum, I want to give up drinking. I'm in the gym, see Jimmy and Mark, so I'm giving the alcohol up, and they said, yeah, we'll see how it goes. So did my mum. And then basically I didn't drink. I went out over Christmas, went out over New Year's, didn't touch an alcohol, drink one all night. So I've never felt like before in my life, so I'm here to show everybody what I'm capable of doing tomorrow night will be just the start of it.
We've got our spies in Essex and all, so we know we're telling the truth.
Yeah.
Could Felix tell us, I mean, obviously he's originally from the Dominican Republic. When was it he moved to Spain, and what are his realistic ambitions going forward?
Eres obviamente de la República Dominicana. ¿Cuándo te mudaste a España y qué planes tienes para mañana y más adelante?
Bueno, tengo 4 años en España. Para mañana los planes es ganar. Obviamente ganar a como dé lugar, pero ganar. Y más adelante, pues seguir ganando.
Yeah, he's been in Spain for 4 years now. Plan is just to win tomorrow, whatever means possible, and then just further down the line, keep winning.
What was it that made him move to Spain? And does he have another job as well? Because obviously boxing is the greatest thing.
¿Cuál fue el motivo para mudarte a España y si tienes un trabajo fuera del boxeo?
Bueno, el motivo es que tengo mi esposa en España y si mi esposa vive en España tengo que estar con ella. Y tengo un trabajo de montador de andamio fuera del boxeo, que hasta ahora en España del boxeo no se vive.
Yeah, well, his wife is in Spain, or was in Spain, so obviously that's a big motive for going to move there. And he does work outside of boxing, as you pointed out. Particularly in Spain, boxing is not easy to live by. He works on scaffolding sites, and he does restoration work, whatever's necessary on the site. Could be painting or just general restoration. Excuse me.
Have you seen
Ahí
Kevin
en la
box on
televisión.
vid?
Sorry,
Have you seen Kevin fight on videotape?
¿has visto videos de Kevin?
Hasta ahora no he visto ninguno.
No, not yet.
No. A mí me interesa ganar, no verlo. Me interesa ganarle, no verlo.
He just prefers to win the fight and not study videos.
Sorry. Not watching Kevin on video, do you think that's a great idea for someone who's gone for a world title shot? Obviously, they've got that sort of class.
No acostumbro a ver vídeos de nadie.
No, it's just nothing in particular. It's just in general. He doesn't tend to view videos of opponents.
Cada peleador es diferente y cada quien tiene su estilo.
Que como él puede pelear de una manera, la última pelea que hizo, conmigo puede pelear de otra. Cada uno sabe diferente.
Yeah, just he feels that every fighter fights differently in every fight. So it wouldn't. His last fight, he could fight totally different to this fight. So he feels studying videos isn't necessary.
No hay nada escrito en el boxeo es espontáneo, espontáneo.
Boxing is spontaneous. Nothing's written.
Ben, what does Felix know about Kevin then?
Pero, ¿qué sabes de Kevin? Tu opinión.
Qué buen boxeador,
Very
qué
good.
buen pegador. Y mira que va a pelear para... Será como una pelea de entrenamiento, cuestión de preparatoria para pelear el mundial. Si la gana, que está muy difícil, pero es buen boxeador y buen pegador.
Very good fighter, and clearly got very good punching power as well. And he's obviously fought. He nearly fought for a world title. So he's very hard puncher.
He said more than that, Ben.
Dijiste más que eso.
Sí, yo también lo sé.
¿Qué más?
Que nada, que es una preparatoria para hacer el mundial, pero primero tiene que ganar mañana.
If he wants to, fight in a world title again, he has to beat Felix tomorrow.
That's what I'll do.
Esperemos, vamos a ver. Está por demostrarse.
He said, we'll see.
Happy days.
Vamos a ver.
Are there any more questions? You all done, guys? Thank you very much. Thanks for joining us. Is the weigh-in now?
iFILM, London. iFILM, London.